Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, I and my friend will present the topic our assignment about the difference between asset-backed securities and asset-based securities. Firstly, I introduce myself. My name is Wan Ahmad Nazir bin Wanasir, IIF 170030, and then this is my rootmate Muhammad Fahim bin Muhammad Fuad, IIF 170007.
Asset-based securities. So we take a look main point of the asset-based securities. The first one is it is a type of asset or business venture that involve full recourse to the originator or issuer, but not to the asset. The second one is there occurs no true sale of the underlying asset by the originator to the investor. This is because the investor will only attain beneficial ownership, but not full ownership. The third one is asset-based sukuk are structured mainly to replicate the conventional bonds. This is also the main reason why the asset-based sukuk is also commonly referred to Islamic bonds. And the last one is the dividends are calculated as a percentage of the total amount invested. So there is about four main points that we have to take note. The first one is about the recourse is referred to the originator, and the second one is there is no true sale of the underlying asset, and the third one is it is also known as the Islamic bonds, and the last one is the dividends are calculated or related to the total amount invested. Next, we go through to the advantage of asset-based securities and its disadvantage of the asset-based securities. The first one is there are more suitable asset, thus allowing product innovation, which is the asset is easier to find compared to the asset-backed sukuk. The second is the personnel are more knowledgeable of asset-based sukuk and not asset-backed sukuk. The third one is the investors are more familiar with the structure of asset-based sukuk. And the last one is the asset-based are viewed to be simpler than the asset-backed, and the price tends to be more reasonable, which affirm its popularity. And there's also a big disadvantage of asset-based securities, which it's only one main point we have to see, which is the sukuk holders have no interest in the underlying asset because the sukuk holder or the investor only attain the beneficial ownership and not fully ownership.
Okay, next we move to asset-backed securities. Asset-backed securities are a type of asset or business venture that is fully shifted to the special purpose vehicle, or as we know SPV, with element of a true sale. We can know the asset-backed securities with three main characteristics. First, the asset is the only object of recourse for the investor. Second, the asset back lead to full transfer of the legal ownership of the underlying assets. And the third, the rating for the asset back depends to the strength of asset cash flow. Asset-backed securities have their own advantage and disadvantage. So we look at the advantage first. Asset-backed usually provide various benefits to both originators and investors. Thus, the structure and operation of this type of sukuk are also deemed closer to the principles and spirit of the Sharia, as we know Maqasid al-Sharia. Second, there are three important conditions that are linked to asset-backed sukuk. It is its profit and losses structure through sale requirement and real ownership, thus aligning it with the principle of Sharia. And then let's move to disadvantage of asset-backed securities. There are some present issues currently faced by the financial institution in structuring asset-backed sukuk. These issues are high transaction costs, legal and regulatory challenge, lack of suitable asset class, and lack of trained and skilled personnel in structuring this type of sukuk. Thus, asset-backed sukuk are viewed unpopularity among the investors.
So the last one, we take a look about the comparison between asset-based sukuk and the asset-backed sukuk. So we take a look both of asset-based and asset-backed for the sukuk application. So the asset-based sukuk is one, sukuk investor only attains beneficial ownership compared to the asset-backed sukuk, full transfer of legal ownership of the underlying asset. The second one is the main source of payment usually comes from the issuer or obligor's cash flow for the asset-based sukuk, and for the asset-backed sukuk, the main source of the payment is the revenue from the underlying sukuk assets, which means the asset-backed sukuk, the investor may rent or selling the asset for the other people, while the asset-based sukuk, the main source of payment is by the payment from the issuer or the obligors, which he or she has agreed with the investor. And the last one of the comparison of both is market driven, depending on the originator or credit issuer for the asset based sukuk, and the asset backed sukuk capital driven, depending on the strength of the asset cash flow. So this is the three main comparison between asset based sukuk and asset backed sukuk. So that's all from us. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi